opinions expressed in the following program are not necessarily those of Shaw Cable Systems or of the station. Through our access policy, we provide the opportunity for community groups and individuals to express their points of view.
Hello and welcome to another segment episode. This is going to be a good one. It really is. Sports Talk on Shaw TV. I'm your host, Brandon Hall. We've got the Moose Jaw Warrior bosses. We're talking James Gallo, the voice of the Warriors, and Cory Nyhagen, who, of course, business operations. He's the guy. Guys, how you doing?
Good, you?
Don't look too miserable.
I'm always a little concerned.
I'm just a little bit worried now because when the boss sees you call us the boss, I'm a little bit worried how our boss is going to respond.
You guys have bosses? I didn't know that.
I don't know whether now we will be expected to do more or we'll get in trouble because he'll think we said that we were the bosses.
Exactly.
Well, you guys look and smell like bosses, by the way. Is that
set us up
polo?
for failure on this one,
Yeah.
Brandon?
Is that
pleading
polo?
the fifth on everything from here.
Well, again, now before we get the show, it's of course all about the Moose Jaw Warriors and whatever else comes along with it. We've got some surprise things that we're going to do as well. There's always a quiz at the end. So if you like the show, have any suggestions, ideas, Shaw TV wants to hear from you. You can email mjshot@shaw.ca or you can call 691-7395 if you still do that. Or you kids can text.
Can you text?
I guess you could do that. You can like us on Facebook. We got a page. And we're in the Twitterverse as well at Shaw TV and Moose Show. You guys are on Twitter too, right?
Absolutely.
At James Gallo too.
Plug.
Right there.
Fine, at Cory Nye with an NY. I'm in there as well.
Do you get your kids to do that for you, or do you actually you're on the Twitter?
No, I actually did it. Yeah, no, I know what I'm doing with that.
Oh, good.
I'm technically up to date.
Very good. All right, so let's kick this show off with the first question. Let's talk to you, Cory. Tell us about how did you get into this? Did it take a degree? Did you kind of just
I hope not.
crawl into an office one day, or take us?
No, it's actually interesting how I got into the field of hockey.
Yeah.
I guess it all started back during my time in Swift Current.
Right.
Owned our own businesses for a number of years. Got to know a lot of people in the community and the surrounding area through doing that and dealing with the public. So basically, what happened with our dealings with the Broncos, you made me have to say that name, is exactly with our dealings with them through our art gallery. When a former sales director here, Brad Gourlay, who used to work with the Broncos, was leaving there, he'd actually asked if I'd be interested. They were looking for somebody local, somebody that people knew that could get out there and communicate with people, had a passion for kind of the marketing side of it, the entertainment and the excitement of the game, and somebody that was, well, at the time going to be there for quite some time, right? So I took the position as director of sales and marketing there, and the rest, as you say, is kind of history with my path down into hockey.
Wonderful. Now, my producer was telling you have a connection with the Moose Jaw Health Foundation as well. Tell us about that.
Yes. Well, during my time with the Broncos, both my wife and I lost our fathers. And right around that time, we had actually received a call from the Health Foundation wondering if we'd be interested in making the move into Regina, joining the hospital's Regina Health Foundation as their director of special events, if you will. And at the time, like I said, we both lost our parents. We were both from Moose Jaw, and we're looking to kind of get a little bit closer back because our moms are still here. So it was almost one of those things. My mom always said things happen for a reason, and it was literally when we went back to take care of some stuff to come down from my dad's service, that one of the messages on the phone was a headhunting company asking me about the Hospitals Regina Foundation opportunity. Wow. So I mean, as I said, things happen for a reason, and we took that to get closer to home. It was a great time working with them. It's a fantastic group, and then, of course, we made the move back here to get right home. Tried to do the commute, but then the opportunity came with the Warriors, and I had to get back into entertainment.
All right, we'll talk more about what you do behind the scenes. Let's talk about Gallo here. You're way too quiet for my liking.
It's weird, eh?
It is. It really is.
Too often.
Now,
guys.
if you've ever listened to a Moose Jaw Warrior game on the radio, you'll know this guy's voice. You've been with, you were on the radio for many years.
Yeah,
actually, technically you still are. Tell us about how you got here.
I am. Yeah, I went to school in Vancouver, came back. Hall of Famer Rob Carney hired me to come here at 800 CHEB at the time. My first year on the Warriors broadcast was Carnes' last year. I then worked 3 years with Drew Hobrick doing color analyst work, and then 2 years with Randy Merkley doing the same position, and then after that took over doing the play-by-play duties while working for Golden West Radio. Spent 12 years going to the same building that you did, so I was there for quite some time, and then this off season there was a little bit of a change. I went from working at the the radio station to now with the Warriors as a manager of communications and broadcasting.
The dark side, right?
Yeah, so now I get up at a decent time, which is kind of nice. But I continue to work and call games for the Moose Jaw Warriors. This will be my 13th year broadcasting and being a part of the broadcast for the Moose Jaw Warriors. I believe it's my what would be my 7th. Doing play-by-play duties, crawling in on 500 games this season.
Holy smokes.
Makes him about 45, 46.
It's been a long
I was
time.
going to say,
I may be 33, but I feel like I'm 65. I'm ready to retire anytime and collect the
that mustache looks at least 30.
Well, that's what I was thinking,
crazy
right?
yet.
When this caterpillar busts open to a butterfly, you both will be jealous. But so now we're full-time for the Moose Jaw Warriors in the office, doing communications and community work, and as well, fortunately, being able to still broadcast games, which is a big love of mine.
That's great. And you get to work more with him then, right?
You know, there's a lot of times where...
category? Wait, where are you going with this?
The thing is now is all the free work that I did for Cory in the past, I now get paid for. So
that's what it's all about.
But then I also have to do more on top of that. So
I did lose my free MC, but I gained an in-house MC,
exactly.
so it worked out really well.
It's nice. I mean, the schedule is better for my family, which is the nice thing. I get to work with some amazing people. I had a great time at Golden West Radio for 12 years. Still, have involvement with the radio station, with broadcasting the games and working online. But just a new chapter, I guess, in my life. Trying something new, enjoying it. It's fantastic, and I still get the opportunity to call games.
Great. So then, we see and hear you, and your job is to be behind the scenes. We're not supposed to see you a lot. During the game, especially. So tell us what you're doing during the
game. Well, if all is going well, what I'm actually doing is I'm out circulating through the crowd, and you would see me. I'd be out there because what I am is I'm down with the group, with the crowd down on the concourse. I'm up in the club with our suite holders and with our club clientele. Like I said, if everything's going well through the game, then I'm out there just networking and making sure that our people, our game night sponsors that are there, and our other special guests that are there, are enjoying, having a good time and enjoying the evening.
Right.
When things may not so be going well, then I'll be behind the scenes just making sure that, the timing of things are executed properly, that, some of the issues that we're having currently with the Wi-Fi system or with stuff like that we're working on, we're addressing, we're running tests and this sort of stuff behind the scenes, trying to make sure that at the end of the day we're putting on as best game presentation that we can each night.
Yeah, well, there you go. So you're a busy guy.
I would like to think so.
Yeah,
I guess it depends on if you ask this guy, you ask me. No one's as busy as this guy during the games.
To believe.
Yeah, I look busy.
Yes,
that's true. All right, we're going to head into break very shortly here. I just want to ask you, how has broadcasting changed? You've been around the game over a decade, so how has it changed from then to now?
I think it's. I don't know. I think everybody's different, right? I mean, I think equipment, you always have to look at that. I mean, obviously, it's the biggest part. I think. Every broadcaster has their own style and the way they portray their broadcast in that type of manner. But there's a lot of communication. I think a lot of people don't see between broadcasters that happens before games, before road trips, and that type of thing, and text and email. And that's probably one of the biggest things that I've noticed over the past couple of years with cell phones and with social media. It has completely changed the game because, when I'm broadcasting a game, I mean, I have, not only my Twitter, but the Moose Jaw Warriors Twitter, and being able to monitor and look at that and seeing what's happening across the Western Hockey League, in the world of hockey, in the world of sports. And for me, that's probably one of the biggest changes that I've noticed since when I first started in the industry, is the fact that instant media has made more information available quicker. So if the lockout were to end during a Warriors broadcast and I see it on Twitter, I'm able to talk about it. If there's a hiring, a firing, a trade, that type of thing. Social media and instant messaging has made things quicker. There's more information out there for people to have.
And how about game day presentation too, from the crush can to now?
Oh, I mean, it's night and day. And this year we're really looking at, last year we were, it was good enough that we were in a position, I guess, with our game days where we had the new building, the excitement of the new building and everything just coming over from the crush can. But now what we're doing is taking a step back and looking at it. We've almost, I don't want to say got complacent, but some of the stuff, if we want to be critical of ourselves, which is what we constantly want to do, so we're working to make ourselves better, is going through all of our systems and stuff and making sure that we're not just putting on another game day, but we're looking and striving to better our music, better our PA, better our light show, better our video show, better the whole thing. Because again, at the end of the day, what we've talked about going into this building is fan excitement, fan interaction, fan entertainment. From the business standpoint, I have to look at it as whether we're winning or losing. It doesn't really matter on the ice. I can't control that anyway.
Exactly.
That's up to our coaches and our boys.
Yeah.
But what we need to do, what we can control, is our overall entertainment off the ice that's going on in the building. I mean, we have a record, almost 3,300 season ticket holders again this season, so it's up again from last season. But what that really does is put the onus back on us to be putting on a heck of a show for them. Coming from the Civic Center, I always say that building didn't know us a thing. It gave us a lot of years, but coming into this new era with this new building here, again, anything on the NHL level that was done, we always push to say we have the building, the capacity to do it.
Yep.
Now we just got to continue to think outside the box and get those systems in place and keep pushing the limits with what we can do to entertain the fans.
And I think what people probably don't realize, I mean, now that I get to see it, I've worked with the Western Hockey League closely for the last 13 years. It's grown so much, right? I mean, as much as people love it because it's sports, because it is hockey, it is, as Cory said, it's entertainment and it is business. I mean, the object for every Western Hockey League team and for the league is to make money and to grow. And the Western Hockey League continues to grow through sponsorship, growing with the Subway Super Series, which has taken off for the past couple of years. You know, the World Juniors being played in Western Canada and across the Canadian Hockey League. And that's probably one thing that people don't really see all the time. They see the hockey, which is great, but the business part of the Western Hockey League and the Canadian Hockey League continues to strive to be the best producer of professional hockey players, the best producer of young men, you know, that with the education money that's available and the opportunities that are available for these young men when they leave the Western Hockey League or the Canadian Hockey League. I mean, that's probably something over the last 10 to 15 years which has gotten bigger and bigger. There's more information for these guys to be able to draw in for their education, for their business. There's more money to be made, and that's probably a big thing that a lot of people don't see. It's the entertainment value. The Western Hockey League needs to be entertaining in all 22 markets.
Absolutely. Great. Good. We're going to talk more with these guys coming up the next segment. We've got a quiz, too, that we're going to do.
Awesome.
It's going to be something. Also, hey, before we get into that, I just want you guys to plug your Twitters and websites and all that stuff before you go. Before we go to break.
Well, I think for all the latest on the Moose Jaw Warriors, of course, you go online, mjwarriors.ca as well. Discover moosejaw.com. You can follow the Moose Jaw Warriors on Twitter at MooseJaw, at MJ Warriors. Myself personally at James Gallo 2, and as well you can check out the Moose Jaw Warriors on Facebook.
Is this guy a pro? Look at that. I just turned it on.
I know,
like
I
that.
just
That's better than I
just
do.
look at the camera. You're doing it great.
Communications.
And your stuff.
That's perfect.
Show us
He
your
said
stuff.
everything with the MJ Warriors. The only thing I'll add on is the at Cory Nye. Don't ask me why it's at Cory Nye and not Nyhagen, probably because most people can't spell it. So it's COREYNY.
As well, tickets available online, mjwarriors.ca. Call the Warriors box office here at Mosaic Place as another game.
I'll just take my mic off and let him do it. All right, it's my turn. I'll show you how it's done. I'm probably going to stumble here. All right, so we're going to take a quick break. Again, we'd like to thank our home of this season, season 2 already. I can't believe they kept me on the air. The Great Western Lounge at Mosaic Place. Again, if you have any ideas for the next couple shows, give us an email. Just a quick one. mjshaw@shaw.ca, or you can call 691-7395. We'll be back with Cory, James, and me, Brandon, in moments.